Greetings and hello everybody. Welcome to Jane Live on a Thursday. This evening we're going to be talking about detoxification, one of my favorite subjects of course, and zooming straight in on the role of sulfur. Sulfur is one of the main alchemical substances. What people use when they use and conduct alchemical reactions and interactions on one level. So sulfur is working alchemically in the body, and it's also working directly as an assistance in our detoxification process. So I've got a few slides here just to help us bring this into context. I also posted quite a bit on our groups regarding sulfur, glutathione, MSM, DMSO. So let's focus mainly on that. And I just want to say probably 8 out of 10 people that I see with the quantum device are showing, and also the Q450, by the way, are showing the need for sulfur. So we're not getting enough of it in our diet. We're not getting enough of the raw material sulfur in the Burney vegetables, which I'll show you about in a little bit later. So let's move through here. Looking at sulfur and detoxification, it's a naturally occurring compound which is found in protein-rich foods and certain vegetables. So the protein-rich foods, eggs, cottage cheese, the dairy products, very, very high in sulfur. And then the garlics, the onions, the mustard leaves, radishes, very important. So it's a main component in detoxification, and sometimes people don't really understand why they're not detoxifying naturally and why the toxins are building up in the body. And one of the main reasons is there's not enough sulfur. It plays a role in the function of several amino acids. It's a structural role. It's a structure that holds the amino acid together. It feeds the hair, skin, and nails, and a little bit more on that later on. Therefore, a sulphur-rich diet is an important step in the detoxification process. And certain proteins, I'm referring to actually amino acids, and in the case of glutathione, it's made up of 3 certain specific amino acids that are high in sulfur. And the Burney vegetables, as I spoke to you about, and then found in MSM, methyl sulfonyl methane. Many of you are familiar with that, which comes in a capsule form of a straight powder, which is very, very horrid to take. But you just feel amazing. It does increase your energy. And DMSO, which is the liquid form of sulfur. So this is the DMSO, and we use this quite extensively in our detoxification process. It's a liquid form of the MSM. Okay, it's more powerful. It's actually a carrier as well. We use it as a carrier too. We use it to carry the cell vitality oxyminerals. So it's a great companion to that. The MSM, which is capsules, we use also extensively. It's almost one of my routine recommendations for people. And it's got quite a nice dosage, which I'll show you in a moment. Just move on a sec. So if we're looking at the glutathione, all right, which we have here, and one of my focuses is not to use extracts, as you all know, and definitely not anything synthetic, that's for sure. But I like to get things directly from nature. However, some people are in the red in glutathione, they're in the red in iron. What are you going to do? Because sometimes they need a little bit of an extra force. So regarding iron, I would use something like aspartame, which is a liquid, naturally occurring organic iron. Something in the case of where we've got an absolutely flat level of basically no glutathione, which is a master antioxidant, we might for a month want to just assist. Similarly, with the digestive enzymes, we should be getting them from our foods, but for a month or so, we might want to just assist the body. That's all. And then encourage the body through the nutrition to produce its own. So it's really coming in as a little bit of a rescue. Okay, so just bear with us in regard to that, to getting somebody right and operating quickly, especially if there's a very big liver problem. So sulfur is a vital component of several processes that detoxify the body. It is a part of glutathione, the amino acids that make it up, the primary antioxidant that maintains a healthy liver. And I posted quite a bit on glutathione. Glutathione will, through the sulfur aspect, will detoxify sulphuric acid, which is a toxin. Other toxic substances from radiation and pollution. It will detoxify and help the body to resist bacteria. So important. Found in the bile via the amino acid taurine, which assists the body with proper digestion. And this is absolutely critical because we see so much of blocked bile ducts, needing gallbladder attention, and improper digestion of fats and proteins. So, sulfur is a very important compound for not only detoxification, but also you can see here for digestion. Then it's not all good. So sulfur, whilst it's naturally occurring in our diet, it's very different from sulfite, sulfate, or sulfur dioxide, for example. And we used to play around in the chemistry lab with sulfur dioxide and make all sorts of concoctions that created heat and gas and all things like that. Okay, those specific compounds will produce allergies. Something like a sodium lauryl sulfate, often found in beauty products, in hair products especially. It causes extensive liver damage, and I mean really extensive. So you really need to ask your hairdresser what they use. Have a look at the bottle, read the back of the bottle. Have a look in your shower, your bathroom, and see what is in the hair product that you're using. In fact, all the beauty products, because they do throw in the sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay, and it is a very big problem, and we do see it a lot on the quantum. It measures definitely. So just be very aware of that. When we look at MSM, the dosage is actually amazing. The body can really take a lot of it. So I would suggest building up from, let's say, 1 or 2 of the 500 milligram capsules to 3 a day. And then you can actually go up to 9 capsules a day, even more, 10 capsules a day. So the thing with MSM is to sort of, do a dosage curve like that. So you would start with 1 or 2 or 3 500 milligram capsules, go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, stay there for a little while, and then you would come down again and really saturate your levels of sulfur. That's a good way to do that. The blue-green algae, the spirulinas, the chlorella, with the first living organisms to produce MSM. They, through their respiration, their breathing, they produce MSM, which travels up in the air, up into the atmosphere, and comes down with the rain. So that is really the most naturally occurring MSM, completely organic and natural. However, it is also sourced now from the wood paper industry. It improves your body's ability to make its own antioxidants. Very, 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 very important. Because the antioxidants will have a sulfur component. Glutathione has 2 different states within your body, a reduced state and an oxidized state. The ratio of these two signifies the overall oxidative status, or the ability of your blood plasma to address oxidative stress. So that would be free radical damage. MSM improves the overall ratio, where there's much more reduced glutathione to deal with these free radicals. It is the key role of how MSM really works. So it really works hand in hand with glutathione. And so it's not really a question of either or. It's really a question of both. Now, DMSO does the same thing as MSM, controls the oxidative stress, protecting from oxidative damage, which is having therapeutic effects. It also, I had a whole lot of, just to tell you why I'm coughing, right? I had a whole lot of sulphur-rich, and still am having sulphur-rich salad. So a huge big rocket, this is straight out of my garden, farm to table. Also mustard leaves. Also, there's another mustard leaf. Also onions. Also garlic. You can have Brussels sprouts. You can have radishes. Also in my garden, I even eat the radish leaves. So I bring in my my sulfur by MSM in the morning. I always have about a teaspoon or to a tablespoon in the morning, every morning, and then I'll bring it in my diet. I absolutely crave it. I will go outside and I will just eat the radish, the rocket. It is my absolute best. I love it. I love the burn. So anyway, each to their own, but this is the way we get it in. The other important way to get it in, we talked a lot about the Budwick blend, the Joanna Budwick blend, where we blend the no-fat cottage cheese with the flaxseed oil. Now, in the no-fat cottage cheese, there's a very high percentage of sulfur, which interacts with the flaxseed oil, rendering the flaxseed oil water-soluble. Now, can you imagine an oil that's water-soluble in the blood, which is water-soluble? This is what we need. There's no circulating oil after that. Once you've blended the no-fat cottage cheese with the flaxseed oil, it is water-soluble. You can literally take your blender, put it under the tap, and it will all clean out. There will be no fatty residue on the inside of your container, of your blender or your container. So that is another way of bringing in sulfur into the body. But there, the sulfur is making the flaxseed oil water-soluble, but it is also helping massively with detoxification. Now, Joanna Budwick used to raise cancer patients off the deathbed by giving them this Budwick mixture. So apart from its direct effects on oxygenation, because when you blend the cottage cheese and the flaxseed oil and you consume it, you get a massive release of oxygen, but you're also getting the sulfur. So it's really an amazing combination. And if you do have a milk or a dairy allergy, the benefit outweighs the supposedly allergic reaction. Just to say. So I know many people, myself included, when I'm feeling like on the milk, the cottage cheese level, that I do that. But otherwise, what I'll do is I'll take a whole plate of this. I'll get my my cup full, a full cup of Burney vegetables, and I will blend that with the flaxseed oil. And the same effect, because you've got the sulfur there. So you get this beautiful water-soluble flaxseed oil. Right, we've talked a lot about flaxseed oil as well, regarding its ability to nourish and line the mucous membranes of the lungs, the gastrointestinal tract, and the respiratory system, and including the eyes, actually. So all the mucous membranes of the body get nourished by flaxseed oil, and especially in the lungs, the little bacteriophages, the immunity, live in this oil protective layer, and so many people don't have it. People come with me, COVID, not COVID, and coughing. Within an hour, if they take a tablespoon of the oil, within an hour, that cough is already massively reduced. Just to show you, first of all, how quickly it gets to the site, the lungs, but secondly, how important it is to stop that irritation, that dry irritation in the throat. So that's very important. Let's see what else we have to say here. Skin and hair, absolutely. It's in our skin Skin, hair, and nails cleanse and restore. We have lots of MSM in there, and obviously other products that also have sulfur in them. Bone and joint, it's in our bone and joint cleanse and restore as well, obviously. Athletic performance, stamina and repair. Athletes love MSM because it increases their performance, their stamina and their repair. It increases the oxygenation of the body and quick detox. Detoxification is easier for the body to absorb nutrients because of the detoxification effect. And it reduces the amount of energy spent on digestion of your food so that you can spend your energy on something else. Okay, so it's really why it's one of the vital nutrients that we use early in the morning with the microbiome reset, the lemon juice, the MSM. It goes in with the zeolite and or vitamin C and whatever you want to take at that stage, your antioxidants. It's absolutely critical. All right. And then here we go as well. Apart from increasing oxygen utilization and energy, MSM will help in conditions like asthma, allergy, because it detoxifies and it assists with absorption, helps in maintaining the proper pH balance of the body, absolutely essential and critical, helps cure gastrointestinal issues, helps reduce snoring, helps conditions like cramps, headaches, muscular pain, and hormonal imbalance. This is all because it's detoxifying the body. So if we detoxify the body, we're going to get repair. We're going to get restoration in the body. Helps with the carpal tunnel syndrome, where you've got a very numb finger or toe. Helps your blood sugar levels and reduces overall stress levels. So one thing that I haven't mentioned here is pain. It's probably the most cost-effective pain nutrient, if you like, because it is a nutrient on the market. So you see how much you can take. You can take up to 9 capsules a day, 3 tablespoons, easy. We've also got a tub of MSM powder. It's all on the 365 Healthy by Choice online shop. You can see it all there. So if you really want to go for the MSM, you can get it in a powder form as well. It's about 250 grams. Most cost-effective way of getting it too. Then, of course, you've got to put it with water and you've got to then swallow it. Okay. So I'll put it with my zeolite in the morning in a shot glass. Fill it up, knock it back. And then I enjoy the rest of what I'm drinking. It has the most amazing effect on the taste of things as well. It alters your taste perception. It's incredible. And let's just see what we got next. All right. I just want to read a little bit more about glutathione. I'm jumping between glutathione and MSM, but the main aspect here is the sulfur. All right. So if we have a look, the new product that we've added, the glutathione, like I told you, just for a month, just to get those levels up quickly. It's a master antioxidant and detoxifier produced in the cells of healthy people. Cells of healthy people, you need a cell vitality of 7, 8, or 9 out of 10. You need a membrane potential to have a healthy cell in order for this to happen. Okay. That's why we set everything up with the flaxseed oil and the cell vitality minerals and so on. So the 3 main amino acids in glutathione are glutamine, glycine, and cysteine, all high in sulfur. Glutamic acid is actually most often used for the brain to increase oxygenation of the brain. So we don't want to really use these things in isolation, as I said to you, but if we're using them purposefully, we know what we're doing, it's okay. If I see a red for glutathione, I know what to do. It's a master antioxidant. Glutathione levels in the body may be reduced by a number of factors, including poor nutrition, environmental toxins like graphene oxide, and stress. Stress is a killer. I'm sorry to say, those people lying flat on their backs in ICU would have had COVID, have all got hypoadrenia. Every single one of them. That's how bad stress is. You can't cope. You cannot cope. You cannot withstand a toxic onslaught if you're stressed and you have adrenal shutdown, basically. We need them. We're living in stressful times. There's no question. People are trying to self-correct, but what's happening is people have worked harder. They've, they've to employed less staff. They've had to lost work, lost jobs because of the situation. So all of that escalates the stress. It escalates the effect directly on the adrenals. So stress in any way is really a killer. Also, the amount of enzymes that get produced by the body do decline with age, only because we don't rejuvenate ourselves, not necessarily with everybody. So glutathione performs many of its functions in close cooperation with some glutathione enzymes, actually. And enzymes are also protein complexes, which are an integral part. Enzymes are proteins that allow various chemical reactions in the body to happen much faster than they would have occurred without them. Thus, enzymes act as catalysts or that speed up the metabolic processes in the body. Each step of such a process or reaction requires a specific enzyme, without which the process becomes much more difficult and often impossible. So enzymes are critical. Where do we get enzymes from? Apart from digestive enzymes, but apart from the microbiome reset has got live enzymes. The enzyme for oxygen transfer and the enzymes for water transfer. Absolutely critical, plus more. But we also get enzymes in pineapple and pawpaw and fruit. Fruit's got the enzymes. Bee pollen, honey. Bee pollen's got about 5,000 live, naturally occurring enzymes, just to say. So I would throw bee pollen into my mix for sure, because it also oxygenates the body. Bee pollen, MSM, digestive enzymes, they all oxygenate the body. And then we said there, sulphur-rich foods. Garlic, onions, the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower, watercress. Watercress is a great one. I actually quite love the watercress as well. And then again, the raw dairy, the no-fat cottage cheese. You would want to choose a raw-based kefir or cottage cheese, because if you heat proteins, you denature them. Obviously, if you heat oil, you denature it as well. So we want to have a raw. That's why I make my own kefir and use it when I need it. Otherwise, I give it to people helping me, or my chickens or my dogs. Because I don't think it's a question of just day by day by day, day after day, having milk or eggs or whatever. It's like if you feel like it. But you've got to keep your kefir granules going. So exercise will also boost your glutathione levels, improving immunity, detoxification. So glutathione's its main action is in the liver. It's the main antioxidant which dictates and assists that liver in detoxification. That's our liver is our main detoxification organ anyway. And then what we're using 500 milligrams of glutathione a day, which is 1 capsule. So you'll buy a pack of 30. And then I just put some pictures of other good foods, eggs, meat and fish. Fruits have got a nice amount of sulfur in as well. The veggies I've mentioned too many times. Let me see what else we got here. Legumes, also high in sulfur. And some nuts and seeds, also high. And let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I think I've actually mentioned it all. So, this is the important thing, to understand the various different minerals that the body needs, and not to make sure that we are eating a cross section of whole foods, exactly as nature intended. And if the body's got severely out of alignment, then we know what we can do to address that quickly. If there's liver failure or severe liver toxicity, and I personally would use both the glutathione and the MSM. Remember, if these are protein-based, we want to have protein building blocks. Okay, so the plant-based foods that have high protein building blocks would be, in other words, all 18 essential amino acids would be the bee pollens and propolis and raw jelly. It'll be the blue-green algae, spirulina chlorella, and it'll be the medicinal mushrooms, reishi, chaga, cordyceps, lion's mane, maitake, shiitake, coriolis. All of them are on the 365 website, so you can get all of these there. You'll find a lot of sulfur in sprouts, and your organically grown, as we said, fruit and nuts and seeds. So I think all we've got to do is choose wisely, and get the best food in us. And remember, the more we detox, the more we are restoring the body's homeostasis on a biological level. The more well we eat, the more we know we're getting those chemicals that are necessary for the chemical interaction to charge the battery of the body. And when we've got a charged battery, all the minerals and chemicals necessary, the biological interface literally takes care of itself. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to know what the person's come in with or anything, because it's going to restore itself for you. Yeah. So that's just, I just like letting nature do what nature needs to do, and we really are gifted in the sense that we have the Q450 quantum device to measure all of this, and the quantum QUEX eductor and the STIOs to mention all of this. So I just wanted to say also, if you've been listening on the Wednesdays, and if you've missed Wednesdays, please go to the Jane McKenzie YouTube site, because everything is recorded and loaded there. So if you think you've missed it, go and have a look there. It's all there. So this particular piezoelectric time crystal device has been made by the Professor Deja Dubonnet for us, and it's a battery. It's basically an electric battery with a lifetime of 300 years. So it's an heirloom piece, actually. And I don't want to go over what we went over last week and what we've done also on the 2 Wednesdays, but just to say, if you're concerned about maintaining your scalar wave, your torsion field, which is around you. So imagine I'm an apple and I'm the core of the apple, and I've got a golden mean spiral going down and another golden mean spiral coming out. So there's a field like that and a field like that. I'm the apple, and the circular scalar wave is around me. That torsion field, the scalar wave, is our normal quantum morphogenic universally given field. And it's how we interconnect and interrelate with every other thing. It's how we are entwined and entangled with everything else through that field. Now, when the negative forces, toxins, bad thoughts hit in on us, it damages the torsion field and it goes skew. All right. And that's where we become unhealthy. So we need to do everything we can on a 365 day-by-day basis to preserve and restore this. The golden mean coming down, the torsions, and the gold mean coming up. That's why we advocate food state nutrients as nature intended, so that innate ability and wisdom of the body can kick in, and the miracles then follow. Okay, so when we structure a restore, a reset, and a rejuvenate program for people, it is deliberately designed to bring in the missing chemicals, electrical charge, herbs, superfood nutrients, minerals, essential microorganisms, the microbiome reset, the essential oils, the flaxseed oil, the best of the best of the best. So that you can imagine if we were a plant suddenly receiving all this beautiful nourishment, we would just flourish. And you would see it. You would see it in the plant's leaves. They would be shiny, they would be large, and they would catch your attention. Similarly, each person that comes in to see any of the practitioners at 365 Healthy by Choice grows. They just grow. You know they're going to grow because they grow from the raised awareness, from the coaching that they get, the understanding of their body, of health, of just universal laws, if you like. Just by osmosis, by coming into our center, they become more alive and more awake. And then they go through the process of restoring, resetting, and rejuvenating. And, after three periods, which could be, 6 weeks or, in fact, 3 months, they are this beautiful shining being. And the torsion field is all smoothed out, and the scalar wave around them is just beautiful and formed. And then you are in a preventative state. You can then deflect certain negative forces that come at you, aberrant forces in any form. And in fact, it can bounce off you. It's kind of like a protective armor. And this device sets up a permanent, stable scalar wave around you, torsion field around you. So how good is that? And we also looking at it and seeing the effect it's having on clarity of thought, the vivid dreams that we're having, because there's an expanded dimension of time and space. So we are able to have premonitions into the future and come back. And we also are able to do something called retrocausality, which means in the here and now, looking at a past decision and going there and reshaping that past decision and coming back. So more on that is all the recordings are on the website. Go and have a look, go and have a listen. If you want to get one of these pendants, or you want to get any of the products we've talked about today, the DMSO, the glutathione, which is really advocated right now for the graphene oxide in the injections, or MSM in capsule form or in a tub, just by way of some of the products, one of these pendants. You can get it online. You can also take a trip to the Naturally Your Scent in Bryanston and Pine Slopes. I'm actually the locum pharmacist at Bryanston, and also Jackson's, Bryanston and Kyalami, where we are and basically have the biggest range of food state nutrients. So that's where you would get also lots of information. I've got little video clips. So if you take MSM, you go and search MSM or iodine or whatever, you'll find I've done a little video clip. So it's almost like a little live brochure within the website where you can go and pick up a whole lot of hints, and there's information and things like that. So I really hope that you've enjoyed all of this, and that you can take something back and share with other people as well. And until next week, have a healthy, sulfur-filled rest of the day and weekend. Bye. Hi, Angelique.
Hello.
I've just